Welcome back to the Stephanie Stevens Show. I am Stephanie Stevens, and we are here with the fabulous Sweet Pea. In our earlier conversation, as we were talking about men, what was the difference between black men and geeky men, um, Sweet Pea had a very candid answer for us. Now, what was the difference between black men and nerdy men, you said? Or geeky men, the kind of guys you like?
But I think black men, they're more controlling and more independent and more of the controller,
Oh.
basically. Like two bosses can't run the same business.
Oh, so there can only be one dominant one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So now, as we were talking before about you're from Barbados?
Yes.
Okay. Now, why Toronto and not the USA?
To be honest, I'm glad I didn't choose the USA because no tea, no share. I see who's running it. Thank
Ah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
But in Toronto, of everything else, Toronto is very clean. They respect nature.
Mm-hmm.
The healthcare is more than fabulous. Their responsibility in life, as in like concerns of others and other people, is over the roof and is more than
That is so true.
is
It's so true.
fabulous.
They care about the citizens here, and even the immigrants and they care about
Yeah.
the people here, and the people coming here, and that's the difference I found. Even though I'm from the U.S., I must say the government in the U.S. does care about the citizens, but for some reason Canada seems to really take care of their citizens. So I haven't been home in a while, so but I must say, being in this country, they have done a lot for people that are not from here, and that is something we are all blessed with here
Yes.
in Canada. Now, um, as when we were in our last conversation, your phone kept going off. What was that about?
Well, it's just all the business work.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I just sort of
Can I ask, sort of, without being too personal, what kind of business? It is 10:30 at night.
well, to be honest, I'm a personal escort. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm most likely booked up most of the times, but and today's Saturday, so they're asking me
Mm-hmm.
to be there.
Okay, so it's you're into public relations. That's what I would call it. The
Yes.
public relations, you can look at it as she says that she is an escort. Now, what made you want to do this sort of business?
To be honest, as I was saying earlier about work, it's very hard to find work in Toronto, and that
Mm-hmm.
was one of my first things I turned to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can say the thrill of it is kind of dangerous because sometimes you don't know who you're mangling yourself with most of the times.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the background or anything like that, but in terms of the money and it's just a way of life to make, all of my bills met, all of
Mm-hmm.
my, problems solved, and then to live the life that I'm living to maintain that life.
Now, with the new legislation that came into law in Canada, that prostitution isn't illegal, but the communication for prostitution is illegal.
Legal, yes.
I don't quite understand. Can you explain that to our audience out there?
So, in terms of the rights of females,
Mm-hmm.
um, they can escort.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of if the person that which is the client,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the client, it will be illegal. So
Okay.
basically, let me say I have a business transactions right now. As a female, I can have a guy come, um, and let me say the police happen to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
I will have the rights as a female to do escorting. It would be legal
Okay.
for me, but then he, as the client who paid me, would not be legal for him.
Oh, I understand.
Yes.
So, um, now that I understand when you said that you had problems working and getting a job and having people who were on the other end understand were you open with the people when you went to the normal jobs? Were you open with the managers? Did you let them know, like Lady Chablis would say, your tea, or were you just went in as an average person looking for a job, you know, an average citizen looking for a job?
Well, I let them know the team because eventually, even if it was any opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
eventually they will have to find out. So I let them know the team, and so I will know I won't be wasting my time. They won't be wasting theirs, and I would know my opportunities to put that much.
So escorting or was easier for you to get into and make money to pay your bills and take care of yourself. And this way, you didn't have to run up against those brick walls, even though I'm sure you thought about it before you actually did it because of the dangers or because maybe what people thought of you or where you were in your transitioning. Um, can you explain that to me? Like,
I was in my transition because I can say from the time I was 16 I started, and when I got Canada, I had more than enough support and confidence to have that full transition.
mm-hmm,
So I will say I started like around 20
mm-hmm.
basically. Um, and I already found myself, so I was already um, trans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in my mind, in my body. So it didn't really cause a problem with me escorting, basically.
Mm-hmm. How do you see life in general with your friends, your neighbors, and your family?
To be honest, um, let's start with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
My friends are gay, which I have no problem with any of my friends. They're very supportive. Um, which I don't do. I don't have many. I have two good friends, but they're very supportive. They're very acceptable. I can say with family, my family always support me through thick and thin,
Mm-hmm.
um, even when it comes to my life experience. However, I can say for my neighbors and my everyday life, um, I can say with people on the street, they respect me. They like
Mm-hmm.
my style. They like how I look, and in terms of like my building, I do have one or two people who doesn't accept me for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that it wouldn't stop me. You know.
So you would say that's how people look at you. Some people in your building look at you on the day to day. They don't accept you because they don't understand or they
Yes.
don't want to understand. And it's great that but you have the confidence that you have decided that you are you. So
Yes.
it's perfect because the world, everybody can't like you and
Yes.
love you. But we have to understand that we are in a world to where we just need to understand that no matter what, you're being accepted by your family and your friends. That is really all you need.
Yes.
Um, so for me, I would think that this makes you smarter
Yes. It
as a
does.
person, how to deal with your negative neighbors and the negative people you run into.
Yes, it does. To be honest, as I even said, the lovely lady that raised me, she accepted my life in whole, and you don't have to please everybody. One thing about life, you will never please them all. You will never please them all.
Now, making the move from your homeland
Yeah.
to Toronto, what was that like? What it must have taken a lot of something inside you to decide that you wanted to move, first of all, from the place you were born and you love and you grew up, your family, your friends, and to come to a place that you didn't know.
Yes, it did take a lot because, um, like my friends, my family, my food.
Mm-hmm.
To come into the cold. I'm from
Mm-hmm.
the warm tropical islands, but to come to the cold, it took a lot out of me. What really hurts me the most at that time is that in my country, living as trans is not 100% acceptable. Even though I have the family, friends that support me with it, I still have the odd community who believe in Christianity, who believe in, not even being gay. So it was a sacrifice I had to make. It was life or death in that situation until that country, this is 2018, maybe 2020, they're now changing the world, and even back then it wasn't that acceptable, but they're making process slowly but surely.
Now, is there a LGBTQ community in Barbados?
There's actually one, and it's not, to be honest, it's not that great. To run it with so much problems. I was one of the volunteers there, and there has so much problems with people coming to the interviews. They have stones pelted at them. They have people harassing them on the streets. It was so hard to even come to the interviews. So in terms of saying that this is LGBT, but people are scared even to have a part of it.
Okay. I'm going to leave you with this final question, and then we're going to go to break. What is your favorite color and why?
Uh, I would say blue.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the sky a lot. I love the sky. I would say blue.
Mm-hmm. All right. And thank you, Sweet Pea. And we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.